Humanity has literally created a robot that thinks for us, yet I still cannot find the answer to the question, who the fuck am I? And something tells me that I'm not alone. Welcome back, babies. It's Paula, a psychology student. In today's video, I want to dive in how having a clear vision of who you are and the concepts that play in your own self-concept would actually help you to see who you are, because it's one of the hardest questions out there. Bear in mind that I'm used to reading at 60 different research papers only to find out that all of the information was useless to cite in my paper. Yay! When my professor told us that we had to do another assignment, I was like, no, come on, not another one. I have like 20 different ones to do, but anyway. And when she told us that it was more of a creative writing thingy, I was happy. I was the happiest I've ever been, because as someone who actually likes to write, I found that I could finally be a bit more creative. But then she said what the essay was about. And the essay was about, who am I? And yeah, that's all my happiness shattered right there and then. How can I even know who I am if I don't even know what type of milk I want in my coffee? Talking about coffee. Hey guys, it was kind of hard. I started asking myself, wait, do I need to tell her about how my friends think that I am, how I think that I am, or how my actions, my thoughts, the things I like, what makes me who I am? And then I stopped for a second and I realized, oh shit, I'm studying psychology. Maybe I know a bit of that, or I can, have a theory by my side that could actually help me. So I opened my notes and I found some interesting stuff. First, we need to know what the self-concept is. And it is just the image you carry of yourself inside of your head. It's not fixed, it's always growing and constantly changing with different factors. It's not only shaped by how you look at yourself in the mirror, but rather about the feelings that you attach to yourself, the roles that you have in your environment. For instance, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, I'm a teacher, I'm a student, I'm a whatever. Self-concept, it's the judgment your inner voice has of yourself. If your inner voice is you're a fucking prick, you have no idea what you're doing, you're dumb, you're stupid, that's directly correlated to the concept you have of yourself. The thing is, the inner voice, of course it's you, but your environment, the things you've lived, the people you surround yourself with, all those little factors play in how your inner voice talks to yourself. Let me guess, you've sometimes think about yourself, not on how you see yourself, but on how you think others see you. If I'm being honest, yeah, we have a lot of factors that play in how we see ourselves and the perception of our self-concept. The self-concept involves a person in a holistic way. So it's not only the way you think, the way you act, the people you surround yourself with, it's everything. Every single little factor plays and alters the way you see yourself. And this is both a blessing and a curse, because you have some variables that you can manipulate. So if it was an experiment, you could use independent variable and just edit a few things up. But there are other aspects of your life that you cannot alter. For instance, who your parents are. You cannot alter the family you were born into, and they have conditioned you. But for instance, you can condition yourself with your friends because you choose them. The same goes with your career or your hobbies, all those things that just slowly add up in the way you see yourself. Higgins, in 1987, created the theory of auto-discrepancy, which means that we have 4 different versions of ourselves inside our heads, and those 4 need to be as similar as possible to ensure happiness and contentness in people. You can only be at peace if these 4 types of self-perceptions are aligned. Those other concepts, because they're different types of other concepts, are what you wish to be, what you think you ought to be, what you hope to be, and what you actually think you could, how limited you are. You can do this at home. You can literally open a note or just think about it and think, okay, the person I wish to be, and the one I think I'm capable of, and the one I expect. And if they are very different, you're likely to have some discrepancies of your own self and start having more mental issues. that's just a theory, but like you can try it yourself. Just write down the 4 different types: the one you wish, the one you should, the one you hope, and the one you expect, and see if it's similar. If it's similar, kudos to you. I believe you're on the right track. Start thinking accurately on what you want to do, because a part of knowing yourself is knowing where you want to go, because at the end of the day, it's the only thing you can do. Like you can, look behind and see like, oh, I was that type of person, but that won't help you. Especially because like you can start spiraling, and there's socially enough psychoanalysis going on. Like, tell me all your traumas and that's the way you can heal. Like, shut up. It's okay to understand your past and overcome the hardships you've been, like psychologically overcome them, but it's not the key to becoming a better person and healing. I want to stress about self-esteem and how others also build ourselves. Because the Michelangelo effect is something kind of like interesting, where there's 2 people and one sculpts the other. It's basically like an effect that shows how people close to us can shape us, like a sculptor. Because Michelangelo believed that like his sculptures, like the pieces of marble before being sculpted, had the sculpture. It's like a vision. You know, when you have a vision for your friend and you're like, you're gonna achieve your dream, so you like reinforce their beliefs. Because also we become friends. And no, I'm just getting ahead of myself. Paula, keep calm. Don't spoil the surprise. Okay. This is a blessing and a curse, but we become what the people around us believe we are. That's a Michelangelo effect. To like support my point, I have like my literal uni note. By the way, in case you were curious, this is social psychology, and there are like different levels of social psychology. I'm taking an advanced one. It's really interesting. It's really, really interesting. I really think social psychology should be studied and should be taught more all over different fields, not only in psychology. You're part of a society, and being aware of how you work, it's really interesting and it's helpful. Really helpful on our day-to-day lives. So yeah, that's why I'm here yapping about it on the internet. Our self-esteem is highly linked to how we think others see us, because we are inside of society's net. So whenever I look in the mirror and I'm like, I'm worthless, it's not because I am intrinsically worthless, but because I feel that others would say that about me, because I compare myself, and because I feel worthless towards the others. For instance, you take a test, you got, a 90%, and you think you've nailed it. But then you look at everyone's and you realize that everyone's above 95. You're like, okay, I'm not good. I must not be good. The thing is, you are good. Inside of the group, you're not the best. But that doesn't mean that you're bad. It's just that comparing to that specific group, you didn't get the highest mark. What is self-esteem exactly? Well, it's a component that evaluates the self-concept. So it's the judge that will dictate how your inner voice will talk to you. And evolutionary-wise, it's just a defense mechanism to belong in the group and be socially accepted. We naturally want to be part of the group, but we don't want to be exactly the same. There's something inside of us that is telling us, no, we're quirky, we're different. We belong, but we're different. That's a soft spot that our brain is looking for. Why do we want to be part of the group? Well, it's basically protection and safety. The essay I submitted, guys, it was so casual and friendly but I think my professor will like it because she's so chill. I think I did a good job. Not the best. I still thinking that I could have done better. But anyway, the thing is, I said to my teacher in the essay, I got more biases than neurons in my head. Because I was like, you asked me to tell you who I am, but the thing is, I don't even know, because I'm ever changing. I don't know which aspects of me I should portray. And the way I'm portraying it, my brain, goes to the best aspects of me. And that's actually a highly biased perception of myself, because I'm much more than only my good traits. And so I said to her, I got more biases than neurons in my head. So I hope you kind of get an idea of who I am, but just be aware that's not fully who I am. And that I've just mentioned the things I place more value on. Like my values, my habits, the way I think. but other people will tell you other things. I think my professor would be like, adjust you for your favorite color. What are you doing? And finally, we have auto-evaluation, which is like the process you do to just prove yourself right, because you're biased as hell. And depending of our self-esteem, we will reinforce the ideas we have of ourselves. And how do we do it? First, you have the behavioral coherence. So you literally get along with people who see you the way you want to be seen. So next time you think, why is this person my friend? Just think about this. Does he or she sees you in the way you want to be seen? And you also give clear signals. You go around stating your opinions. You go around taking pride into the way you want to be seen. Take in mind, we all know that person who's very quirky and loves, I don't know, indie music and cannot shut up about like, yeah, I like indie music. Let's be honest, we all have those quirks. We take pride into things that we want to show the world. And we also feel the need to get more positive reinforcement on the things we find important. So for instance, if I see myself as someone highly intelligent, I will go around asking people if I'm intelligent. Not necessarily directly and consciously, but I just will go around saying like, yeah, because yada, 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 yada. And people will be like, oh, you're so smart. And I'm like, cha-ching. And then we have the cognitive coherence, because we have selective attention, memory, and interpretation of the facts. We just cherry pick what we want to get inside of our heads. That's literally confirmation bias. So to sum up, your identity is literally divided into the perception you have of yourself in a social setting and the perception you have of yourself individually. Think about it as when you're alone versus when you're with people. I know you're a different person when you're around different people, because everyone takes a different part of us out. You are not only who you see when you look at yourself in the mirror. There are many factors that play. Whatever thing that you may be thinking right now, yeah, this is highly affecting the way you see yourself and therefore the way you see the world. The self-concept is highly linked to how you see the world. And the good part is, because it's ever changing, you can change it. Not everything, but a part. So you can actually see the world through different lenses, which like it gives us a bit of hope. I hope this has given you a bit of insight and actual like science behind the way you see yourself and how different roles play. I'm gonna finish the video stating the main 5 aspects that play with the self-context that you can actually also like edit them out. First, roles that you have, for instance, as I've said, sister, friend, brother, daughter. Context, your environment, activities you do. Like for instance, I go to the gym, I read books, I drink a whole lot of coffee. Those things. Then you have like features or characteristics of yourself. Is characteristics even a word? Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah. And then mental states. Mental states play a big role in how we see ourselves. If you're asked how highly you think of yourself when you failed a test versus when you've gotten like the highest mark, of course it's going to be different, because emotions play a big role in how we see the world and ourselves. I hope it has given you some clarity. If you want to talk in the comments about like how you feel or how like the concept of yourself or how you would interpret the question, who are you? You're free to do so, of course, and I would be more than pleased to hear your opinions and states on the matter. So yeah, hope you have a really nice week, really nice day, really nice everything. And we'll see each other in the next video where we'll dig deeper into the depths of our brain. Bye.